Many people think that snow and cold are what damage gardens the most. I think that in a northern climate, they often do the opposite. They actually protect. And I explain why. What I mean by this is that cold temperatures bring plants into dormancy. Their growth slows down, so they don't waste energy or try to grow at the wrong time. Snow actually acts like a blanket, keeping temperature stable and protecting roots from severe frost. In winter, plants don't need warmth. What they actually need is rest, stability, and protection. The real enemy is actually something else. And I'm not saying this as a fact. I'm saying it as a feeling that has developed over time simply by watching my garden. This video is not about how to do things the right way. It's about where my garden is right now and what I'm trying to understand about it. My garden is located in a northern climate that actually can be quite harsh. Winters are long and springs are often cold and wet. When I first arrived here, the site was quite exposed from several directions. Wind moved freely across the land. There were clear wind corridors, and in spring, everything felt unstable. When I started working on this garden, I didn't begin with a list of plants. I begin with a space. I planted birches, spruces, and pines, not because they would immediately solve anything, but to slowly change how wind moves across the land and how the space feels over time. At the same time, I was also creating garden beds, improving the soil, and simply trying to understand the land better. Because of that, I can't say that one thing caused another. Everything here has been growing and changing together. The trees are still young. The garden is still developing. Nothing here is finished. What I try to do is pay attention to small things. Where areas feel calmer or more exposed. Where snow tends to stay longer. Which places are harder in spring. where plants may wake up more slowly. I'm not drawing conclusions yet. I'm simply observing. And the more I watch, the more I realize that garden doesn't actually give answers quickly. And if I had to point out one thing, winter itself hasn't felt like the biggest challenge for me. Actually, spring has. And I have mixed feelings about spring. I start looking forward to it already in late autumn, when plants go dormant. But when spring finally arrives, I actually feel both happy and worried at the same time. Because cold temperatures combined with wet soil, long periods of rain, and nights that stay cold even when days start to warm. You see, plants are weak, but the conditions aren't ready for them. This is often the reason why plants struggle, or the worst cases, even die. And that has made me think more about drainage, airflow, and how space can either soften or amplify these extremes. I actually used to think that gardening was mostly about choosing the right plants. But now it feels just as important to think about the kind of space those plants are living in. I don't feel like I have solved anything. I feel like I'm still learning. This garden isn't a project with a final result. It's a process that I'm trying to understand over time. This channel isn't about quick tips or clear answers. It's about observing a garden over time in a northern climate, with all the uncertainty that comes with it. In future videos, I will share what I notice, what changes, what doesn't work as expected, what I still don't know, and of course, what are my plans for the future. And I have a lot of them. So, if thoughtful gardening speaks to you, you're welcome to follow along. Bye bye.